Welcome, Charlotte. This is Latice with Up Close on Watch Charlotte. I am here with the infamous Kerry Digsby. He is the proprietor of Urban Tymes magazine. He has a wealth of knowledge from the aspect of someone being from Charlotte, correct?
Kind of, sort of.
Okay.
My roots originally, I have to say, from Long Island, New York. I came here with my family, my parents and such, and fortunately enough, got assimilated to Charlotte. So I definitely call Charlotte home.
Okay. So you're one of those charlatans by way of.
By way of.
Okay, because a lot of people will be by way of, and then they still won't claim Charlotte. So.
No, Charlotte has a lot
That's
to
right.
offer. It's very rich in its diversity as well as the talent that's here. Hence the reason why I do what I do now, because Charlotte needs to be recognized for the jewel that it is.
Absolutely. And on Up Close, that's exactly what we intend to do. So let's talk a little bit about Urban Tymes magazine and how that came about.
Urban Tymes magazine. Well, with me being here in Charlotte, I had many friends that come to the Charlotte area, and prior to them coming, they would always contact me and wanting to find out the best restaurants, the best events that are going on in Charlotte, what concerts, things of that nature. So I found myself always sending them emails and updating them. So then I said, well, I'm just going to create a blog and just keep people in the know as far as what's going on. And then from there, it gravitated to speaking to some sisters that were getting their hair done. They said, what about this being printed? So we said, okay,
nice.
Let's go print. So we started printing back in 2009, 2010. And it's interesting because we've come full circle because of the way of the digital age and how print costs are. So now we're solely digital, in which everyone from all over the United States have come and visited us and find out the best things that are going on in Charlotte as well as the nation.
Right. So tell them about how large the Urban Tymes audience is. People will be surprised.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Just looking at numbers some time ago, we had gotten well over 50,000. We did some analytics and got a chance to really look and see where those numbers were coming from. We have readers out in actually South Africa, England, also Spain, Alaska, New York, New Jersey, even down in Gastonia, believe it or not. So we've been blessed to have that many readers follow us and keep us engaging others.
Right. Well, along with that, I'll have to, do a little shameless plug here. I was able to be featured on Urban Tymes magazine last December, and it's been one of the highlights of my career. And so I really was thankful to have that type of medium, to be able to showcase my talents. And so when they are going through the magazine, talk about, the process of putting those things together. How do you decide, for instance, who's going to be on the cover that particular month?
Oh, wow. Well, I'm fortunate enough to have a great team of individuals that work with me, keep me grounded as well. From the publicists such as Tangi with Emerge to writers that I have coming from Jersey, even here in California. So what we do is we collectively get together and we come up with a theme for the month. And then from there, we're able to determine what we need visually as well as the content. So say, for example, Tika Rose, who's a writer for me.
She's awesome.
She is amazing. Yes. And she really gets into the heart of the matter. And one thing I definitely have to say is that anything that we choose to do is in a positive light.
Absolutely.
So that's the precept of our magazine. We're the positive side of media. So of course, when we had you on the cover, there was a reason behind that because of the work that you've done with all 3 books, as well as what you represented to young African-American sisters that are out here right now. It was a positive light, so we had to have that. And that's how we decide on what we want to do for the cover as well as the content in the magazine. Okay.
So we'll be right back with more of Kerry Digsby. He is going to talk to us more about his activism. He didn't know I was going to be talking about that part. We'll be back with more Up Close on Watch Charlotte.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Call Health Markets today at 1-800-319-7039. That's 1-800-319-7039.
Endless pools are an incredible alternative to traditional pools, making it easy and inexpensive to swim at home. Exercise year-round against a smooth current set to your desired pace and temperature. With our new underwater treadmill, you can walk or run without stressing your joints. Endless pools are simple to install and even simpler to maintain. The water stays crystal clear with almost no chlorine. Call for your free idea kit and experience the freedom of swimming at home.
Hi, Charlotte. This is Latice, your host of Up Close on Watch Charlotte, and I am here with Kerry Digsby. He is, this guy who knows everything about what's going on in the Charlotte market because he has this magazine with over 50,000 viewers, Urban Tymes. And so we're going to talk a little bit about, some of his content. Some of he does a couple of magazines per year featuring males and why that's so important, and also his activism and what he's actually doing in Charlotte. So let's talk to the audience about why activism is important to you.
I would say activism is important to me because I think back when I was in high school, young black male going to Garinger, and there was a gentleman by the name of Paul Stoney who took an interest in me. He went to Johnson C. Smith University, and he saw something in me, and he saw something in our community as well. So he worked with a lot of us young brothers at that time. So to me, it's very important to give back. To be involved not only just with what you do, showing the public, celebrities and such, but to be able to get into the community and see what's going on and hear their thoughts and their concerns, and then to be able to bring it back to individuals that may be very influential in Charlotte. I think that's very important. So from going and visiting, junior highs and high schools and speaking with them, to trying to bring many of the community leaders together, as a, and be a spearhead to get some change in Charlotte, I think it's very important. Thinking back on Cops and Barbers with Lucky Corbett and, Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department prior to what occurred last year, I think was very important to be able to hear a lot of people in their anger and their frustration, but then to be able to hopefully provide them an outlet or a source to voice that, whether it's in the magazine or introducing them to certain civic leaders. It's important to give back to your community. I'm just a big proponent of that. Absolutely.
And it's so necessary in order for us to be able to grow across the board. And so with you having so much access with Urban Tymes, as a person in the community, talk to us about the plight of our male right now and what you are actively doing to change that.
Oh, wow. Well, last year we were fortunate enough to bring at least 12 brothers from different facets of life together, and we called it the Brothers Issue. And I thought that was very important because we need to really showcase or shine a positive light on African-American men today. So bringing them from those that were in, their civil rights activists to lawyers, doctors, people that have vocational trades, bringing them all together in order to show a positive side. I want to do that every year, and I want to do it with different men because we have to think about our next generation and what type of foundation we're giving them. So my goal was, and thanks to Shakima Boyer for actually bringing that idea to me and helping me enhance it, to be able to bring that to fruition and then show these young men out here that you're not limited to where you're from. And each one of those brothers, it was amazing because each one of them come from a different background.
Right.
Some were good, some were bad, but they made it and they're here.
Okay.
So hence the reason why I wanted to do that.
Okay. Well, Up Close, we're going to be right back. The Up Close audience, you're going to be able to hear some more about Mr. Digsby. We're going to, on Up Close, we get up close. So we're going to talk about relationships and that particular issue and how he focuses on really beautiful things that should be going on in the relationships. And so we'll be right back in a moment with more Up Close.
My routine is important to me. It's how I live, how I stay active. So when my back started to cause me problems, my friend suggested I call Medical Supply Helpline.
Medical Supply Helpline helps you regain your mobility with back and knee brace solutions. With one simple call, you can start doing the things you love to do again. Whether you have Medicare, Medicaid, or have private health insurance, you may be eligible for a brace at little to no cost. Medical Supply Helpline takes care of all the paperwork. Call us today. Don't prolong your suffering. Get the support you need shipped directly to your door for free.
I didn't want to hassle with my insurance company, so I made one call to the helpline and my brace was delivered to me for free. Now I'm back living my life the way I want.
Now is the time to call 800-887-4885. That's 800-887-4885. Medical Supply Helpline. Regain your freedom, hassle-free.
This is a national health alert from the 24/7 Diabetic Health Hotline. If you, a family member, or loved one has diabetes, listen closely. Now, regardless of your age, if you have insurance, you may qualify to receive diabetic testing supplies with little to no out-of-pocket cost. Get free delivery, free information, and all the paperwork is handled by our accredited suppliers for free. Call the 24/7 Diabetic Health Hotline now for details. Toll free at this number. But wait, there's more. If you call right now, you could get a free meter upgrade. In addition, we'll give you a free pedometer as our special gift to you. We have knee, back, and other braces available, as well as pharmacy services. Regardless of your age, if you suffer with diabetes and you have insurance, we can help.
Call the 24/7 Diabetic Health Hotline at 800-618-7587. That's 800-618-7587, 800-618-7587. Call now.
Welcome back, Charlotte. This is Letice, your host of Up Close on Watch Charlotte, and Carrie Digsby here, who is this wonderful man who has all this wealth of information about Charlotte and relationships and activism. But now, here on Up Close, we got to go there a little bit.
Yeah.
So you did this wonderful magazine last year on relationships, actually this past year, and you featured some really prominent couples that were up and coming couples here in Charlotte. And so as a married man in the industry, because you deal with a lot of entertainment, talk about how personal that is to you. I know that information, but I want you to share that with the audience about your beautiful relationship with your wife.
Oh, wow. A blessing. 23 years together, 20 years married. Everything that I do, I always have to remember that it's a gift. And I can honestly say that my wife Renee was as well. She met me at a time in which I was up and coming. And I know it's an old cliche, you get somebody who's with you when you're up and coming and such. But she's just, again, her spirit of discernment, the ability to talk to her and bounce ideas off of her. She's actually my assistant editor. She has that background. And it's great when two individuals can get together and build something. And then you look back on that fruition of that occurring and be like, wow, this is where we are now. So when I did that issue, I thought it was important to show, again, people the positive side of love.
That's right.
So many times we see in social media and on, these reality shows.
Right.
To me, it's reality TV, but then I wanted to show the reality of Black love,
That's
of
right.
two people together. So shouts out to all the couples that were a part of that. Amazing, because they come from music, they come from the ministry, they come from fashion, they come from radio. All of us were able to get together and just show, what it means to be with your significant other in love. So.
Attention! If you have had a hernia surgery after 2009 and suffered from serious side effects such as infection, chronic pain, organ damage, mesh shrinkage, or mesh migration, you could be eligible for financial compensation. Call the law offices of Wright & Schulte right now at the number on your screen or visit meshjustice.com now. Ethicon, a subsidiary of Johnson & Johnson, has recalled its PhysioMesh Flexible Composite Mesh. Again, if you have had complications from your hernia surgery, you could be eligible for financial compensation. We can find out what type of devices were used in your surgery. Call the law offices of Wright & Schulte immediately at the number on your screen or visit meshjustice.com now. You deserve justice. The call is free, and there's no fee unless we win your case. Call now for your free case evaluation. Again, call the law offices of Wright & Schulte immediately at the number on your screen or visit meshjustice.com now.
Welcome back to Up Close on Watch Charlotte. I'm your host, Letice Howie. This man sitting beside me is Carrie Digsby, and we are just going to jump right into the relationship part. So I heard you say that Renee, your wife, is your assistant editor.
Yes. Anything that I do, gotta go by her. I might as well just say she's the editor, because a lot of times she's like, let me take a look. So, but she's amazing. She has that eye.
Okay. Yeah. So how is that working with your spouse? So you're working with your spouse, getting Urban Times out, and I know how that can be with editors, and then you want to go on a date night. Like, how do you do that? How do you merge that together?
Oh, wow. Well, it's a project in itself, and luckily, our youngest just went off to college, so we find that we're spending more and more time with each other, and it's almost like rekindling that spirit. So you get beyond the work, and you look to how can we take this to the next level. Okay. Even after 20 years, we still, I can honestly say I look at her as though it's the first time I met her, and I think that's real helpful. So we make time.
So your best relationship advice for those that work together, listen up.
Don't take them for granted, because a lot of times when we get to working together, we take the individual for granted and still don't realize that is still a unique individual. Yes. Get beyond the work and just recognize them for who they are. Reintroduce yourself to them, I would say. Very,
very nice. That's very unique too. I like that. Yeah. I like that. So we are going to shift gears just a little bit. Okay. We know that you have a podcast called At the Round Table. Yes. Talk to the audience a little bit about what that is.
Oh, wow. At the Round Table was an idea that was birthed between myself and Adrian Biddle, who's with Charlotte in the Know. He said, it would be great if we can just sit down and just talk about something. I said, just sit down at the round table. And then we looked at each other and was like,
at the round table.
In which it's everyone is equal when they come to the table. So it's myself, Adrian Biddle, and Tika Rose, Talisha Wheeler. And we wanted that concept to be two men and a woman. And the reason why is because, yes, we're two alpha males, but a woman will keep us in our place. So hence the reason why we did that. And the chemistry has been amazing, especially with our guests that come in. And we talk about things from most recently taking a knee to friendships and how, friendships have changed. We actually have a show that's going to be on next Wednesday that is geared towards television today, how it's changed.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we talk about things that people can relate to, put a little spin and humor with it, but then we look for the positive side of it as well, coming to a good, positive conclusion. So I think that's been amazing.
Well, that is awesome. And so what we're going to do is let the audience know where they can find you, and then we're going to let you see a little bit of At the Round Table as we leave.
Okay. Well, you can definitely check us out at www.urbantmedia.com. And from that website, you can go into the world of Urban Times, from our magazines that we do, from Urban Times to music, to the podcast channel, which we feature some positive podcasts for everyone, to even promoting businesses in order to get the word out to our readers and beyond. So.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to wrap up here. We're going to leave out and let you take a look at the Round Table. But first, I have to thank all of our visitors and all of our viewers. Thank you so much for continuing to tune in to Up Close on Watch Charlotte. This is your host, Letice Howie, Mr. Carrie Digsby, and we'll see you later.
All right. It's Monday. Okay. All right. It's Monday. It's Monday. It's Monday. All right. All right. Welcome, everybody, to At the Round Table. Yes, we know it's a square table. Thanks to Adrian Spring, who made that very apparent a couple of podcasts ago. But
Mr. Paul Bettleman.
Yes. He did it.
Mm-hmm.
He did it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, without further ado, it's Monday. It's our latest podcast. And we have with us our guest host. Host. See, she started already. See, most every time we get put in place. That's why we need. Okay. So
strong woman.
Oh, see, here we go.
And we got one again.
We got one again. Every time. How do we get so blessed with these things? But we would like to introduce to our followers, our fans, Courtney B. Courtney.
Hey y'all.
And as you can tell with her, what is it, dialect? Can we say that?
Yeah, you can.
Her
dialect.
Yeah. Yeah.
She got that southern twang like the rest of us.
She got that twang. So.
That's right.
All right. So with that being said, I'm one of your hosts, Kerry Digsby. Hey guys, how y'all doing?
And I'm your other host, Adrian Bill, Charlotte in the Know. Appreciate y'all joining us this evening as well. And for the ones who's joining us out there, please feel free to shoot your comments or questions as usual, and we'll definitely try to get to them and get y'all involved in the People's Podcast, as we call it. So don't hesitate to actually shoot no comments and questions to us.
All right. Okay, so with that being said, we're about to tap into some uncharted territory, so to speak.
Let me take a deep breath real quick.
The topic of discussion today, and of course you guys know every time we bring a topic of discussion to the podcast, we always want to do it in a very positive light. We're looking for answers. We don't want to argue. We just want to bring it to you. You need to know. So today's topic of discussion. Don't need a drum roll. I need that Jaws music. It is a situation that plagues homes daily, causing strife between men, relationships.
It ain't so.
Children run and hide. There's lost work. You know it. I know it.
I know it.
We feel its effect on a monthly basis. It is dun 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 the dreaded PMS. All right, I put it out there. I know I'm probably getting in trouble when I get home, but hey, babe, that's the topic. Men want to know.
Yes.
I'm here for you, Renee. I'll straighten him out.
Already, the bus is backing up. Okay, so the topic, PMS.